We begin by placing the reel on the reel support rails. Position the reel so that the reel shaft is centered or slightly behind center of the grinding stone. Bring the rear fence up to the rear roller. From the front of the grinder, lock the left side first and make sure the fence aligns itself without binding into the rear roller and stop tab. Then lock down the right side. If you have a rear roller brush or some other obstruction, you can use the spacer bar between the rear roller and the fence. Place the reel diameter tape magnet on the reel blade at the left end of the reel. Make sure the magnet does not extend beyond the edge of the reel blade. Keep tension on the reel diameter tape as you wrap it around the reel, and make sure that you wrap it in a straight line so that the end of the tape lines up with the beginning of the tape. You should be able to see the black line down the center of the tape. Our measurement is the last line on the left above the 0 line on the right. Each line with a large number is 1 inch. For our reading, it is 4 inches. Each small numbered line is 100 thousandths, so our reading is 900 thousandths. The lines without a number are 25, 50, and 75 thousandths, and here the reading is 0. To read the vernier, find the line on the right that lines up best with the line on the left. Don't worry about matching up colors. Here, the reading is 11 thousandths. Add them together, and your final measurement is 4.911, or 4 inches 911 thousandths. Repeat the measurement for the right end of the reel. You should repeat each measurement at least once, and you should be able to duplicate your measurement within 3 thousandths of an inch. That measurement was 4 inches 875 thousandths, plus a vernier reading of 16 thousandths, for a total of 4 inches 891 thousandths. This means the reel has a 20 thousandths taper or cone shape. To adjust the reel, lift the rear roller with the rear roller jack. This ensures that both ends of the front roller are resting on the reel support rails. Disengage the carriage from the pneumatic drive. At the large end of the reel, feed the grinding stone up until it just touches the reel blade and you hear a light whisper. While holding the hand wheel, set the dial to read 0, or hit the 0 button on the optional digital readout. Move the grinding head to the small end of the reel. Infeed the hand wheel the amount of your cone, in our case 20 thousandths of an inch. While spinning the reel, adjust the front roller until the reel again just slightly touches the grinding stone. Lower the grinding head and slide it out from underneath the reel. Then lower the fence jack. Adjust the rear roller until there is no rock. On reels with a fixed rear roller and a bolted frame, if there is still rock with both rollers down, you will need to loosen the frame. You can loosen the side plate bolts here, then retighten the frame. You may need to tap the frame until the rollers are parallel and there is no rock. Extreme cases, where the reel still has a rock in it, may require either a shim or eccentric kit, which is available from the mower manufacturer. On reels with a welded frame, you may have to replace the frame if there is too much rock. You can also install a rear roller brush eccentric nut to the frame and rear roller. Loop the chain clamps around the frame. Turn the chain clamps on. Ensure that the grinding stone just clears the reel at both ends. Move both stop levers to the down position. Move the grinding head to one end of the reel so that the grinding stone is off the end of the reel and does not touch the reel frame. Set the stop against the lever. Move the grinding head off the other end of the reel. Then set the stop for that end. To move the spin motor, twist and unplug the spin motor. Hold the spin motor with one hand and loosen the clamp. Then slide and lift it out of the support. Turn it around and place it on the support on the other side of the grinder. Plug and twist the spin motor plug into its receptacle, then tighten the clamp. Unclamp the radius arm and swing it to the front. Note that you turn the clamp clockwise to loosen and counterclockwise to tighten. Set the correct position of the spin motor by sliding it front to back. Set the correct height of the radius arm by moving it up or down, then tighten the clamp. Remember, it's clockwise to loosen and counterclockwise to tighten. Select and mount a 1/2 inch drive socket or adapter that will fit your reel. Slide the socket or adapter onto the reel. Then retighten the set screws in the clutch and clutch lockout. Check the stops for the amount of automatic infeed, usually 1 ratchet tooth per pass. Engage the grinding head to the pneumatic drive and slide the grinding head to the big side of the cutting unit. Close the front shield. If your grinder is equipped with automatic infeed, turn the counter on. Set the number of passes and push the reset button. Turn the grinding motor on, then the spin motor and set its speed. Then turn the carriage travel on and set the speed in both directions. Slowly feed the grinding head up at the large end of the reel until the grinding stone just starts to grind the reel. Snug the tension screw if necessary. If you have auto infeed, you then allow the grinding head to travel back and forth. If you don't have the auto infeed, you will need to manually infeed every 3 to 4 passes. Continue infeeding until you hear a uniform grinding sound all the way across the reel. If you hear an uneven grind or harmonic sound, you may need to change your spin speed. If the harmonic sound doesn't go away after adjusting the reel speed, you may have a bad reel bearing or undersized reel shaft bearing journal. You also have full manual control of the infeed, even when the auto infeed is turned on. When the counter numbers match, the grinding head will stop infeeding and spark out. At the end of the last pass, turn the grinder off. If the reel is not completely sharp, you can set the counter for additional passes or continue to infeed manually. You can also just hit the reset button for additional passes. If you're not going to use the counter, just turn it off. Unscrew the clutch lockout set screw until it is flush with the outside diameter and disengage the grinding head. Move the grinding head off the left end of the reel. Remove the spin grinding stone. Mount the relief indexer. Loosen the indexer collar and rotate the indexer out of the way. Then mount the relief grinding stone. To set the relief angle, feed the grinding head up until the grinding stone just touches 2 blades. Then back it off 1 to 2 turns. Rotate the indexer up. Position the indexer so that the reel blade goes between the blade guide and the indexing stop. With the reel blade against the grinding stone, squeeze the blade guide against the blade and tighten the collar. This maintains the relief angle you just set. Loosen the 2 set screws which hold the blade guide. Again, squeeze the blade guide against the blade to match the helix angle of the reel blade and retighten the screws. You can adjust the clearance between the indexing stop and the blade guide. If the indexing stop does not catch the reel blade when you rotate it, adjust the height of the indexing stop until it catches the blade. Rotate the blade so that it catches the indexing stop and then rides on the blade guide. Move the grinding head to the right end of the reel and adjust the travel of the indexing stop in short, quick turns until it just touches the blade and then back it off a 1/4 turn. To set the travel stops, move the grinding head off the right end of the reel so the grinding stone clears the end of the reel, but the blade guide remains on the blade. Set the right stop lever down and the left lever up, then set the top or hard stop against the top lever. Hold the bottom bar to the right to set the bottom stop against the bottom lever. Move the grinding head to the left end of the reel so the blade guide goes off the end of the reel, but the indexing stop stays on the blade. Set the top or hard stop against the top lever. Move the grinding head back and forth and manually rotate the blade at the left end of the reel to make sure the indexer is working properly. Move the grinding head to the left end of the reel and infeed the grinding head until the grinding stone just touches the blade while the blade is held against the blade guide. You want to hear a light whisper. Then move the grinding head to the right end of the reel and check to see if you have the same contact or light whisper on the right end. If you don't, adjust the fence in or out with the ratcheting handle until you have the same contact on both ends. To adjust the fence back, you need to remove the pin. If you need to grind less, you ratchet the fence post to the front of the grinder. To grind more, you ratchet the fence post to the back. This could change depending on the front to back position of your cutting unit relative to the center of the stone. To realign the post after relief grinding, reinsert the pin and adjust the post until it bottoms out on the pin. Close the shield. Set the reel drive speed to 100 RPM and turn the reel drive motor on. You should hear the motor humming and the clutch lockout should just barely be turning. Move the grinding head back and forth or engage the plunger into the drive cylinder and turn on the travers to check that the indexer is working properly and that the travel stops are correctly set. Stop the grinder on the left side again and, if needed, engage the plunger into the drive cylinder. Turn the reel spin motor on, the grinding motor on, and then turn the carriage drive on. Start grinding at -5 thousandths or 0 for a light, uniform grind across the entire reel. If you're grinding more or less relief on the last half inch of the trailing end of the reel, your blade guide is not parallel to the reel blade. Infeed the grinding stone to get the desired relief. You can take 2 or 3 blades to set the correct relief amount. The grinder will regrind those blades equally with the other blades on a second pass. When completed, turn the main power off when the stone comes off the left end of the cutting unit. Never stop in the middle of the reel.